All right. Hey, everybody. So we are going to go ahead and we're in week 2 of our social media marketing class. And I loved y'all's bios and stuff that were coming in. A couple of you sent them privately and stuff too, that were coming in this past week. I can tell you guys are really being intentional with what you're putting on there, making sure people know what they're seeing as they're coming to your page, trying to get your pictures a little bit more clear and focused as to so they can see your face and who you are. So keep those bios coming in. And I know, here's the thing is bios and profiles and all this, it's a work in progress. To be honest, it's never done. So, I mean, you no more get everything finished and then you cut your hair. So now you need, whatever. So it's like you change your picture. It's just never done. It's always evolving. You might be in a season where you're really trying to lean into a different niche. And so it's okay to change that up and keep it evolving. Like I said, just keep it clean as possible, because you don't want people to see too much when they get to your page right away. They just want to see a very clean picture snapshot of who you are and what you have to offer them. So today we're going to cover posting authentically. And this, I think, is really important. We are one plexus, right? So we say that anytime you see a post that you relate to or whatever, you are more than welcome to copy and paste that post. It's a great tool to have. There's lots of sample posts that you can use on our team pages. There's so many resources available to you. So that you can get started right away without any training whatsoever. Do you admit that person? But the thing is once you start getting some training, you start leaning into it a little bit, those copy paste posts are great, but they're not going to help people get to know who you are authentically. And that's not going to necessarily help them gain trust with you, especially when you're sharing product info posts and things like that. So what types of things you should be posting? Hear me when I say it's okay to share product posts. Okay, it's okay. There are 4 different types of people in network marketing. And if you ever have read the Color Personalities of Mlm, they actually talk about the different personalities. One is one is a red. And a red is one of those, they're leaders, they're dominating, they love contests, they love getting healthy the fastest, they love losing the most weight. They're one of those people that's they're all about a competition. And honestly, they are kind of money driven. Okay. So those are the people that are going to jump on your business posts when you talk about all these contests that you're a part of. They're the ones that are going to want to know how much money they can make and how quickly they can make it or whatever. Okay. So you're talking to reds. You're also going to be talking to yellows. Your yellows are your people who they want to help people. Okay. So talking about how many people you're helping and talking about the messages that you're getting from people that are thanking you for helping them with, their gut health issues or whatever. Those are your yellows that you're talking to because they are driven and motivated by helping people. You're also talking to your greens, okay? Your greens are your, I am very information driven. I need to know what all is in these. I need to know everything about it. I need to research the compensation plan. I need to research all the ingredients. I need to research gut health and I need to, whatever. So you're talking to greens. And then you're also going to be talking to your blues. Your blues are your extroverted, I love to talk about myself. I'm going to be honest. Those are a lot of blues. They love to talk. Okay. They love to talk. They love to be involved with community. So those are the people that you're going to get when you start talking about your experience with your community, your experience going on trips with people, your experience going to convention and how much fun you have at convention. So here's the thing is you're going by covering all those different areas, you're talking to 4 different audiences. Okay. So it's okay to post product information, right? Because you're talking to your greens. Your greens are going to love to read your product info post. They want to read every little sciencey thing you have to say about that. I'm going to be honest with you, your reds and your blues, and I know this because I am those people, they don't want to read all that. They don't want to read everything about all the ingredients. They don't necessarily care about, all the different organizations somebody donate. They might care, but they're not reading through that. That's not what's going to drive them or motivate them. Okay. Personally, I'm a red blue. So I am driven by I am slightly competition driven, and that's okay obviously that's a group of people because there are a lot of people that's what motivates them. Okay. And then blues, they love community. They love being extroverts and they love talking. That's why I can talk on these things on the fly for 30 minutes or an hour and not even think about it because we just love to talk. So make sure that you're covering all of those when you are posting. Make sure you're thinking about all those different people when you're posting, okay? And you need to be reaching all of those people every single week. Here's the thing about posting, and I wanted to start this, and I know this is gonna, like, for some of y'all, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, are we really talking about this again? But yes, we are, because it's so important. Belief is a huge part of this thing, okay? When we're talking about what you're posting and how you're posting and posting authentically, belief is a huge, huge, huge part of it. Belief really is the #1 ingredient to your success. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that flat out. You can have all the skills in the world. You can know exactly what you could check the boxes every day, whatever. Belief is going to be the #1 ingredient to your success in this. I promise you. So if you think about, like, thoughts, right? Thoughts that come into our brain, thoughts are actual, like, physical things. Okay. And I know that sounds weird. We don't think of thoughts as being physical, but they are physical things that actually change the physiology of our brain. So if you are not taking control of your thoughts and building belief within yourself, then you're actually you're changing your brain to go into failure mode. You're going to start driving towards failure if you are not having belief in what you're doing. Okay. You have to have full belief in what you're doing. You have to make sure, I mean, this is a biblical tactic, right? I mean, the Bible literally says, you need to renew your mind, take control of your thoughts. I mean, there's so many different things. So if you're a believer, like, this is biblical. You have to take control of your thoughts. It's because the Lord created our brains to go to work for us, depending on what we're thinking and what we're focusing on. So focus is huge. If you have not read Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf, I think that's going to be a really good book for you to read. And it's talking about taking captive of your thoughts. And I would just encourage you, before you even start thinking about what authenticity looks like to you, take inventory of your thoughts. Okay, take inventory. Like, as you go this week through the next week, take inventory of where your thoughts are and where they're going and what you're thinking about. Because I can almost guarantee that if you're in a spot in your life where you're feeling stuck, or you feel like you cannot move forward in certain areas or whatever, I bet a lot of your thoughts are focused on negativity. And if you start taking captive and start taking inventory and then take captive those thoughts and start replacing it with something different, even if you don't believe it in that moment, just start replacing it with something different. It feels really silly. If you start to think, like, man, I do not attract leaders. Nope. I attract leaders. And I'm going to say that out loud. And I'm going to start changing the physiology of my brain so that my brain starts thinking in attracting leaders and not thinking about the fact that I just can't. Right. So it's going to go to work for you in that way. There's 3 areas of high belief that you have to have if you're going to be doing network marketing. You just have to have these 3 areas of belief. If you're missing one of these areas, you're going to get stuck somewhere. The first area is that we do have life-changing products, right? You have to have belief in the products. If you don't believe in the product that you're selling, y'all, you really need to reconsider your strategy here. Okay. There's a few different ways that you can gain belief in the products that we're selling. Start researching the ingredients and the benefits of the ingredients that are in our products. Okay. You're going to start having some belief right there. The next thing you can do, and honestly, this is probably what I'd recommend the most. If you have a hard time, if you're struggling and, like, do these products work? Like, are they even, like, is it helping people? I don't even know. Like, if you do not have rock solid, unshakable belief in the products that you're selling, go into Gut Health and Happiness and make this part of your IPA every day, and just start reading through testimonials of people that it has changed their lives and it has helped them with this or whatever. Okay. Because I think we have those days where we have, 3 or 4 people in a row that message us and go, I'm just not feeling anything. I don't know. Right. We've all had those days. And you're like, man, I started this day so great, and this is not working for half my team. What is going on? And so you have to go find your belief elsewhere, because it's not in your team today. And that's okay. We all have those days. Go into Gut Health and Happiness, start reading through some testimonials so that you can build your belief in our product, so that you have that rock solid belief. The next thing that you need to have full belief in is yourself, right? So you have to have belief in yourself. You have to have belief in who you are and what you have to offer. Okay. Actually, before we go into that, because I could go further into that one. Let's talk about the last one is you have to have belief in network marketing. Okay. If you don't believe that this is an industry that works, then that's going to be a wedge in your reach outs and your posting in your business. Okay. So you have to have rock solid belief in network marketing. Okay. For me, I know network marketing is the ultimate equalizer. I have people that have they were surgeons that are now diamonds on the team. And then I have close friends that don't have college degrees and were moms, and now they're diamonds on the team. So for me, and like, I'm making really decent money doing this. I don't have a degree. I've been staying home with my kids. Like, so for me, it was like a really good opportunity for me to be able to step in and create a business and build an income and influence and have a platform where I didn't have that before at all. So that for me, that's my big belief about network marketing, is that is the ultimate equalizer. You have to have a strong belief in network marketing. Here's the thing that's going to set you apart differently with network marketing. I think everyone thinks network marketing is the marketing part, right? Heavy emphasis on the marketing. Really, it's a heavy emphasis on the networking. And networking is really just loving people and serving people well. You have to love people and serve them well. If you're not loving people and serving people, they have no interest in what you have to say. Jesus himself literally served people and loved on people, right? That's why people were so in tune with what he had to say. I think a lot of us in like a leadership mentality, we think that there's a spot where we don't serve people anymore. And that's just not true. Like, you are constantly going to be serving people. And honestly, the best leaders serve people at very high caliber levels. Okay. So just serving people and loving them well is going to be a huge part of network marketing. It's the networking part. It's building relationships. We were just talking about this on one of my calls earlier. Building relationships, building that trust is going to be a huge part of your business. So you have to have a solid belief in network marketing. And if you're struggling in your belief in network marketing, go on the website and start watching some diamond docs, and documentaries. And I'm going to tell you what, that's going to build some network marketing belief in you if you don't have it right now, because there are people from all different walks of life, all different stages. And in fact, if you want, I can send you in one of our team pages, there's actually a list of all the different categories of diamond docs that you can go look up. And it's everything from like, they've got men, working dads, single dads, work from home moms, full-time working moms in foster care. I mean, there's college students there. I mean, it's just a whole list of the different categories of people. So you can go into those and just start watching diamond documentaries of the people that network marketing has literally changed their lives. That's going to be a huge thing for you. Or you go into Fallon's story and just listen to her story. Y'all, when she went to her first convention, which I was going to bring this up when we were talking about cost of convention last week. She went to her first convention. She borrowed gas money, went to, I believe so. I'm trying to remember I think I'm mixing up two people's stories, but like basically borrowed gas money, got there, ate hot dogs in her hotel room in between sessions, because that's all she could afford. And then showed up to the sessions, took a bunch of notes and took it home. It was basically an in and out, ate some hot dogs and left. Okay. So if this is something that you need to build belief in, I challenge you to get to convention, because if someone can go from eating hot dogs in their hotel room because they can't afford to be there to now they're one of the top earners in the company, and they can cover a dinner if they wanted to for, their whole entire team. If they really, there's a huge difference that's a huge difference in her life that network marketing has made for her. So you have to have your belief built in network marketing. Okay, so going back to having belief in yourself, this honestly is the key ingredient to you posting authentically. And it's the key ingredient to people being able to trust you and lean into and listen to what you have to say. The thing I'm going to tell you about this is having belief in yourself is not something that you're going to, like tomorrow, you're going to have belief in yourself. Okay, this is something you have to constantly be doing. And I'm going to tell you right now that I know that there are diamonds in this company that go through seasons where they feel like they aren't operating how they know that they can. And so they have to rebuild belief in themselves too. Having belief in yourself is usually a constant thing that we have to switch. So if you're lacking in belief in yourself, this isn't, you're not abnormal. It's not wrong. It's okay. We just need to build that back up. And then there's going to be another season. We need to build it back up again. Here's the thing. You have to know who you are. Okay. When it comes to belief in yourself, you have to know who you are. You cannot be posting what other people are posting and just watching what they're doing and how they influence or whatever, like, oh, well, gosh, Kristen, she just knew so much about health and wellness. And, oh man, well, Leah was a fitness instructor, and gosh, well, Emily, she knew all about how to brand and do her pictures and everything. Of course, they're going to be good at it. Well, there's something that you have to offer that nobody else has to offer. Right. So I would challenge you, ask your friends, like, what do you see as a strength of mine? Like, what's a strength of mine? But people that are close to you, ask your husband, ask your mom, ask your sisters, ask your, whoever, like, ask your friends, what is a strength of mine that you see? What do people want to know that I can add value to? Okay. What are people out there wanting to know? Do they want to know how to live better lives? Do they want to know how to get started with running? Do they want to know recipes? Do they want to know how to do their hair? Do they want to know how in the world to just take care of kids on a regular basis? Do they want to know your cleaning hacks? Do they want to know? There's different things that you can teach people that anybody can teach people. Do they want to know about the grass outside and the different grasses? Weird thing to me, but there's a lot of people who want to know about different grass. Okay. There's a girl that literally, Abby Kappa always says it's her weirdest one that she follows, but she literally just posts what she packs her kids for lunch every day. That's it. That's all she posts. But you know what? Keeps people coming back because they want some ideas for what to pack their kids for lunch. So there's things that you can add value to that people are looking for. You have to choose, though, that you can be successful in this just by being you. Okay, you have to choose that. You have to choose that you are going to be your authentic self and be successful that way. You don't have to be anybody else or post like anybody else. Even if you do decide that you want to do, say, makeup tutorials, you don't have to do makeup tutorials the same way someone else does makeup tutorials. Gosh, I say that word a lot of times. You don't have to do it all the same. You have to choose that you are going to be successful just by being authentically you. Okay, so once you've embraced that you are enough, and once you've embraced that you can be successful, okay, not somebody that you are trying to be. Once you embrace that you can be successful, that's when you can start showing up authentically. Okay, that's when your authentic posts are going to start coming out. What do you have to offer your audience? Okay, be constantly thinking about that. What can I offer my audience? What do I have personally that I can offer my audience? Here's the thing: if you know 10% more about a topic than your audience does, you already have a leg up on them and you can post about that, right? We talked about that before. If you know where to get really awesome sweatshirts and no one else does, or maybe, whatever, I don't care. Like, literally, there's things that you can post that add value to your audience. So you want to make sure that you're creating content that revolves around that. So remember, we talked about kind of thinking about your niche, and your niche is not something that's easy to nail down. Okay. And it might change and evolve over time, but this is going to be something that's going to be important because, you want to be able to add value to people. So I know there's some people that are like, well, I like posting cooking tips and I like posting cleaning tips. And I like, well, cool. Maybe yours is like home hacks. That's okay. I know there's a lot of people in this industry that'll tell you to pinpoint to a single tiny little thing. I don't think we're in that place with y'all yet. You can start thinking in that direction, but I think if you can at least think of a general area that you are strong in, that you want to post about, that's something that you can really hone in on and give you some focus and direction. So, take every week, I would take a day and I would just go through and I would write down a bunch of things that I could post about this week, right? So, okay, well, this week I'm actually meal planning. So I'll write down my meal plan stuff. And then I've got laundry. I'm going to post some laundry stuff. This is my own. I'm just running through it with you. And then I'm actually traveling on Thursday. So maybe I could do something about how I pack. And here's the thing: is being on your stories is another way to be authentic. Okay. So getting on your stories and just literally talking through this, you'd be shocked how many people will sit here and listen to you talk for 40 minutes about the cracker that you ate for lunch. It's mind blowing. This is what social media is, but I'm dead serious. You just get on there and you start talking about, so, when I'm packing, I'm going to get on and talk about packing. I'm like, I hate packing. Anyone else hate packing? I never know what to do. And I'm trying to get all my stuff together and I always forget something. And then I spend the 40 minutes of my trip. Here's the thing: is you can go on and I'm being my authentic self and people are engaging with it. Okay. So use your stories as a good place to be your own just authentic self. You could literally process in front of your audience out loud and they will sit there and listen to you. It's amazing. It's mind blowing to me what people listen to. They love it. I love it. I eat it up. Okay, so look for ways to multiply your time too. So that's what I was saying, is take that time to write down all of your stuff, and then you can start thinking about content. They'll tell you that you actually use a different part of your brain for different things. So one part of your brain is picture creative, and one part of your brain is writing. So a lot of people, I know what they'll do is, if they want to really be authentic in both, they'll take one day and they'll write up all of their posts, and then they'll take another day and they'll get done up or dressed up or whatever, and maybe like have like a shirt or something that they change out, and they'll take all their pictures that day for their post that week. And then there you go, you've used two sets of your brain, you've done everything authentically, it's nice and creative, and then you've got your post for the week. So remember to make sure that you are constantly thinking ahead about what kind of stuff you want to add value to. Okay. This isn't really a post and fly kind of situation when you're being intentional with your social media. You have to make sure that you're being intentional. And I'm not saying you have to schedule every tiny little thing. That's just not feasible all the time, but it is extremely helpful and makes you feel more organized if you can find a time in the week where you can write out your posts, take a time where you can take a bunch of your pictures, and then put them up accordingly. Make sure that you're doing that. Here's the thing, is posting every day is so important. Okay. They say consistency beats intensity all the time. Okay. Now when consistency and intensity, when you got those together, then you got a fire going. That's awesome. But consistency will also always be intensity. Okay. So you'll see there are people that are in momentum and they're doing extremely well and they're adding people to their team like crazy. It's probably because they had a lot of months of just being extremely consistent. Okay. Because keep in mind, this is the 90-day rule, y'all. If you look back 90 days and where your business or what you were doing 90 days ago, that's probably going to clue you in as to what your business is doing right now. Okay. That's the 90-day rule. So keep that in mind, that what you're posting today is probably not going, just keep it in your mind that it's not going to help you until 90 days from now. You're not going to see the fruit of this post till 90 days from now. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Here's the thing, is branding is, I think a lot of people think that they have to show up a specific way, and once they announce who they are and what their brand is, they have to show up that way all the time. That's just not true. Give yourself some grace in this. There are like high-end influencers who are making a lot of money that, yes, have like a certain brand that they have to live up to. Y'all, we are just being ourselves. And I know for me, there's a lot of different angles and facets to me. And I know there's a meme going around that cracks me up. It's like, I've got two looks. I'm either trophy wife or I'm a troll under a bridge look, right? And so it's like, that's me too. Like, I can't just constantly assume that I'm going to show up every day looking like $1 million. It's okay to just show up. Like today, I'm in my PJs still, to be very honest with you guys, because we got calls going right away. So it's okay to show up as your authentic self. Your branding is just who you are. So don't put too much pressure on yourself in how you're going to show up every day, because you're just showing up as yourself, right? You're just showing up as yourself. And then keep leaning into personal growth, because you're going to find that there's going to be a journey of who you are and who you're becoming through this. You're going to find, I think you're going to find that you actually have a lot to offer, and there's a lot of value that you have inside of you that people need, right? That people want to lean into, that they want to hear from. And honestly, there are people out there who need the person that you're becoming. Okay. So the more you're leaning into this, and the more that you're showing up authentically, and the more you have belief in yourself and who you are, and are leaning into your leadership and growing and actually making sure that you're investing in yourself and your own personal growth, there are people who need that person. Okay. So you have to make sure that people need exactly who you are. They don't need another, Ashley Heron. They don't need another Brittany Crothers. They need a you is who they need. And you are the person that is going to reach specific people. There are diamonds out there on your team who need you to show up authentically as yourself, so that you can reach them in a way that nobody else can reach them. So just constantly thinking about how you're adding value. And then when you are posting, here's 3 things that you can think about when you're posting. Is we talk about the feel, felt, found. Okay. I know I've talked to a couple of you about this before. Feel, felt, found is super important when you are posting, because it tells people, I know how you feel. I felt that way too. And here's what I found. Okay, this is the important part. You don't always have to do this, but when you're trying to do your very authentic, I want to explain this to you, but I don't want to come across salesy or pushy. Those are 3 points that you can hit that make you not feel, make it so it's not salesy and pushy and slimy feeling. It's literally just very authentic. I understand how you feel. You know what? I understand that you are struggling. This is my own. You are struggling to keep up with those kids, that you are literally counting down to bedtime. I understand that you would rather sit in your PJs all day because getting dressed feels hard. I understand that you don't want to open your curtains because sitting in the dark hides yourself in the shadows of who you're supposed to be. You can go into all that. I felt that same way too, right? I felt this way. I felt like I could not even get out of bed half the mornings, but I had to do it for my kids. Here's what I found. I found that when I attacked my gut at the root, and when I actually made sure that I was cleaning up candida and hitting the root issues instead of just medicating myself with Tylenol and coffee and wine every day, I made real changes to where I felt like a better version of myself. Okay. Those are the types of things that you want to post on a regular, consistent basis. If you're somebody who's healthy, easy. I understand how you feel. You're already healthy. You don't need to attack your gut. You don't need to be looking, you're already healthy. You've got a great diet. You've got a great exercise plan. I felt that same way too. But here's what I found. Okay. Preventative health is a big deal. Preventative health is a big deal. I also found that my vitamins weren't exactly doing the job that I needed them to. There was no, they weren't methylated. I needed methylated vitamins. I found out that my probiotic, turns out it was half dead by the time I got to my gut. I needed a probiotic that would, and you could educate in that way. So there's different ways that you can hit different people and say, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. This is what I found. And you don't always have to say it in those words. It can just be talking to the points that you use, what you used to feel and how you feel now. But it's going to make all the difference when you guys really start relating to your audience in that way. So your homework for this week, I know everyone's still kind of working on their bios. So your homework for this week, I want you to start thinking about what kind of value you add. Okay, start writing down what you bring to the table on social media. I don't care if it's 10 things, okay, because I understand that it's difficult to narrow it down. My struggle is I love home decor, I love cooking, I love my kids, and so right now, like mom life is my thing, whatever. So, and if that's yours, that's fine too. Like we all have a different area that we can speak to on mom life, but not everybody is a mom. You've got people that are just college students. You've got people that are empty nesters. You've got, we've got single women and whatever. So there's something that you can speak to that somebody else can't. So write down what you can add value to. What do you know 10% more about than other people? And here's a way that you can actually start to locate that, what that is. Start looking at groups, start looking for groups of things that you're interested in. Okay. If you love to garden, go find a gardening group on Facebook and join it. Okay. And just listen and then just post something that adds value in that group. Like, oh my gosh, I just did this last year for my rosemary and it actually made it through the freeze. Here's what I did. Do something to add value. As people are commenting on your post, start adding them on Facebook. Okay. Start adding them on Facebook. And so that you guys can start talking gardening more and share gardening tips and things like that. And A, that's going to grow your network. And B, it's going to start to help you realize where you do have value to add, even in areas that you might not think you have value. Okay. So find like 4 or 5 groups that you can join. That's something that you're interested in that you can join. You don't have to like add value or anything just yet, but let's just get you looking for those different groups that you can join and start engaging in those groups a little bit. And then start narrowing down where you add value and where you're, I don't want to call it a niche yet because we're not quite there, but where you can be authentically you. Okay, so bring that this week too. So you guys don't have to pop those into the Grit and Grace group, but if you can pop them into your 3-way chat, I think that will kind of help your sponsor know how to help you with posting. And then also, again, if you're not in that post bumpers chat and you want to be in there, let your sponsor know and they can help with that. Again, keep in mind post bumpers is a courtesy. And if you don't get bumped on that, it's okay. It's okay. We're looking for authentic and genuine, interactions anyways. So, but it is something that kind of helps get your post bumped a little bit so that you can occasionally, so that you can get it seen by more people. So anyways, I hope this was helpful and about authentically posting and giving you some direction and guidance on how to post. But like I said, it does start with belief in yourself. You have to have belief in yourself in order for you to show up authentically. If you don't have belief in yourself, that's going to be your first area right there. Okay. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you next week. Pop your bio, your value, and all that into your three-way chats with your sponsor, and they can help work with you further on it. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.